What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite place to talk movies. I'm your host, Luce, and this is Real Talk Off Script. Alright, so today's episode is going to be a little similar to the last episode that I did. We're going to start it off with a movie review. I got a chance to go see You, Me, and Tuscany last night, so I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about that. And I do have another topic. It's related to essentially a couple of the movies that I gave you guys a little taste of 2 episodes ago, as far as the ones I was excited about. We're going to get into that a little bit later, so I won't give you guys too much information on it. But I do want to start this episode off by reviewing You, Me, and Tuscany. So, like I said, it's going to be a little similar to the last episode. This is another movie that I was not really excited to go see, but as it got closer and closer to the release date, my excitement kind of did ramp up for it. For some of y'all who don't know or don't know me, I am a big fan of rom-coms, believe it or not. So this one, once I started to see some of the talks about it and just some people's opinions online, I was definitely interested in going to see it. But yeah, so I'm gonna give you my review of what I thought about it. So once the movie started, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first 20 to 25 minutes was not feeling the movie at all. I'll probably go as far as to say the first act. The whole first act, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think my suspicions might be true about this one. I wasn't enjoying it in any way, shape, or form. But as the movie went along and we got into the second and third act, I started to love the movie. And I was definitely surprised by that because I was really like, the first act was really cheesy, which is cool. Cause I mean, what good rom-com don't got a little cheese to it, a little mozzarella, a little provolone. I'm out of cheeses. I don't know a lot of cheese, but yeah, that comes along with having a good rom-com. So I was like, okay, I'll feel it out. I see, how the movie, hopefully it gets its footing moving forward. And it definitely did. But yeah, that first act, if you guys can get through it, is definitely some gems in here moving forward. But the characters, I love the family. I love Anna as a main character, which is Halle Bailey's character. She was a real good character. At first, it seemed like she might have been a little one note. Like I said, that's some of the issues that goes into the first act. But she seemed a little one note at first, but like as you spent more time with her and the characters that she was surrounded by, she kind of opened up a little bit and you learn more of her backstory and kind of understood why she was on the path that she was on in the first act. So it kind of brought it all together and tied it together in the last two acts. The movie does give that classic rom-com feel after the first act. Like I said, the first act, just throw it out. Don't even worry about it. First 30 minutes, don't even worry about it. Just learn the characters' names and move on. Because that first act it was a little rough. But yeah, the movie definitely does get that classic rom-com feel. And I would say definitely towards the third act when everything was starting to wrap itself up. I started to really just think to myself, I'm like, okay, this if the first act was just as good as the second and third was, this might have been one of the new classics. Like this might have been one that we can just say, okay, now that we're moving forward and trying to slowly get rom-coms back into the theaters, this might have been the one that spearhead that movement. Which I'm not saying that it can't. It definitely could. But it just really depends on how everybody else feels about it. But I definitely got the classic rom-com feel for this movie after it was over. Are there any other negatives that I could say about the movie? This is another one, kind of like Super Mario Galaxy, like the runtime. I don't remember exactly what the runtime was, but I feel like the movie went along smoothly. Like there wasn't any scenes that seemed to drag on for too long. It definitely wasn't a movie that I was like checking my watch for, like, hey, how much longer we got on this? So it definitely breezed by. I will say though, the scenery in this movie, like it's. I got my passport recently. I was like, hey, what is that? What did y'all feel is that? Because I definitely like. I think that's part of the charm of the movie itself is just the location, and just seeing all the different cultural things that we're not used to here in the U.S. and seeing it over there. I believe the movie is in Italy or something like that. I'm geographically challenged. I don't know where Tuscany is, but let's just say Italy. But just the landscapes alone, like that was a character in itself in the film, and I think that definitely elevated it to making it a little different than the traditional rom-coms that we usually get over here. They're usually in New York or Boston or Chicago, which a part of this movie is actually set in New York in the first act. That's where Anna or Brianna actually starts her journey and then just says, fuck it, I'm just going to go to Tuscany like I always wanted to go, and she did. But yeah, the scenery in itself is a character, and I really enjoyed that as well. It gave it a different feel. Like I said in the last review, I'm still working on how I want to score movies. I really don't want to do a 1 through 10 or, oh, this one is a 7. I really don't want to do that. So I'll just say this is definitely a movie I suggest, especially if you like rom-coms. If you like movies that are a little more adult, and that's another thing. I don't know what this movie was rated. I think it's rated R. I might be wrong, but they cussed a lot way more in this movie than I thought they would, which is cool with me. I don't give a damn. I cuss a lot on this pod, as y'all know. But I was like, damn, they dropping the F bombs. They I didn't know the movie was really gonna be like that, but it was cool. But yeah, I don't know how I want to score it, but I'll say this is definitely a movie I suggest. Once again, just like Super Mario, this is not one that I would say you should rush out and go see this. Like, you gotta go see it now. I'm not saying that at all. But this is definitely a movie that you'll have a good time with in the theaters. And I'm definitely curious to see if everybody else feels the same way that I felt about it. And some of the other people that I talked to, like some of my friends, a pair of my friends, actually went last night to see the movie too, and they really liked it as well. The movie was way better than either one of us thought it would be. So I'm very curious to see, how the audience reacts to it. Because like I said, box office is very important when it comes to stuff like this. We don't get a lot of rom-coms. So if this one, people gravitate towards it like I did, and they actually go out to see it, maybe this could be the movie that does spearhead more rom-coms. Because I really cannot think of the last one that came out, especially one that like people were actually talking about it like this one. I really genuinely cannot remember. I would have to go do some research on it. But if this is one that, is good enough that it brings people out, not only for the first opening weekend, like yesterday, but also next weekend. And, well, yeah, to be completely honest, now I'm thinking about it, next weekend might be the last weekend for it to make a decent amount of money. Because the week after that is Michael. And then the week after that is The Devil Wears Prada 2. So this weekend and next weekend, Yumi and Tuscany needs to make the bulk of his money for us to be able to get more rom-coms. But just my personal opinion, I do think this movie is good enough and will get enough talk out there that we could probably get some more of them. Because I really enjoyed the movie, and I think you guys would too if you were to see it. But once again, I'm wondering if you guys are surprised that I even like rom-coms. Because I really do. Like, my Mount Rushmore for rom-coms, I would say, is Hitch for sure, for sure. Guess Who? For sure, Jerry Maguire. I was just talking about that. Jerry Maguire is like top tier for me. And I would say Crazy Stupid Love. That's my 4. That's my Mount Rushmore. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about Yumi and Tuscany. Are you guys excited to see it? Did you not really care? Does my review make you want to go see it? I'm very curious, and I'm genuinely want to know. So if you guys do have any thoughts about it, go down in the comments. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. So all right, with my review for Yumi and Tuscany down, I do have another topic that I want to talk about, and that is this. So I gave you guys a quick rundown of some of the movies that I thought would do pretty good this year, some of the movies that I was just excited about and wanted you guys to get excited about them as well. I went ahead and I thought a little bit more about it, and I was just thinking, some of the trailers that I saw last night, while I saw Yumi and Tuscany, some of them they didn't seem like they grasped the audience like I thought they would. And that just kind of got me thinking, like, is some of these movies that's coming out this year, or just this summer, I should say, are they botching their rollout? Are they botching the marketing? Because a lot of these movies that I'm excited for, when I go out in public and I see people standing by billboards or people looking at a poster like, oh, I can't wait to see this, or that looks interesting, or whatever the case may be, I'm noticing a pattern with some of these movies, and some of them aren't really getting the feedback that I thought they would. So I figured I would go down just a short list of movies that I think are doing really good with the marketing, maybe some even surprisingly, and some surprisingly doing really bad and shit in the bed when it comes to marketing. So first I'm gonna go over the ones that I think that are actually doing pretty good, and then I'll get into the ones that I think aren't. So I did 3 on both. My first one for the movies that I think are doing really good with the marketing is The Devil Wears Prada 2. You already know how I feel about this movie. I don't let y'all know. I don't know how many times. I think this movie is a sleeper to make a shit ton of money this year. And just seeing how people in the audience last night reacted to the trailer, and this wasn't even the new trailer for The Devil Wears Prada. I think this is actually the initial one, or maybe trailer 2, because Devil Wears Prada 2 put out a trailer, I think, last week, or it may actually even been this week. I don't know. I don't remember for sure. But they put out a new trailer, and I think that one was the best one yet. And that wasn't even the one that was shown in the theater last night. And the one that it showed was one of the older ones, and it got a decent amount of pop. So that's just me seeing it out live and in person, seeing how people are reacting to it. And like I said in that, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago or 2 episodes ago, like I made you guys aware of in that episode where I was saying, hey, the shit is breaking records as far as how many people are watching the trailer online. So when you put that together with just how the pop was in the actual theater, like I keep trying to tell you guys, I think this movie may be a big sleeper for actually doing pretty good this year because the marketing team, of course, is doing their job. Everywhere I look, I see a Devil Wears Prada 2 billboard, or last night, even my fiance bought a t-shirt that she ended up not liking too much because we opened it up out of the package and it wasn't as fire as we thought it was. But even still, like, it's making us want to just get more excited about the movie because the marketing team is doing their fucking job. So yeah, the first movie is Devil Wears Prada 2. So I'm gonna move on to my next one for movies that I think are actually doing pretty good with the marketing. The next one, of course, is Dune 3. I mean, the movie does not come out until the literal last month of this year, December 18th, so far. So why is it that they just released the tickets for IMAX this past week and they sold out immediately? I actually saw an article online that said that people are actually, I don't want to call them scalpers because I don't want to say that's what they're doing, but at least it looks and sounds that way. I'm seeing that people are reselling tickets for IMAX showings for Dune 3 for up to $1,000. Come on. Like, you got to understand how scalpers work. They only scalp things that they feel like is going to have a good turnaround or a good ROI so they can resell it to somebody else. They wouldn't be selling it for $1,000 if people weren't willing to buy that shit for $1,000. So that tells you everything you need to know. The marketing is doing their job. This movie doesn't come out to December, but we've already gotten a trailer. We've already got ticket sales for the IMAX showings. We've already got so much buzz and so much pop around, them potentially, like I said, potentially releasing with Avengers Doomsday, and even that is just a talking point that's going to get people in the movie industry talking and us fans talking as well. So Dune 3, to be completely honest, even if the marketing completely shit the bed, like I said, there's so much talk in the streets about it. There's so much talk amongst film fans about it that they're going to make the money regardless. So that's another movie that I put on the list that I think is movies that are actually killing the marketing. So that's two big ones. The third one that I put on the list is a movie that I actually heard about this last year, but it was like not a rough draft, I should say, but a rough outline of the plot of the movie, and it seemed so crazy, so wonky that I was like, "What the fuck? What is this movie about?" But it was definitely one that I was still interested to, once more information came out about it, I would definitely come back to it and check it out. This movie is called The End of Oak Street. The trailer released, I want to say, I think it's been 2 weeks. It's either been 3 weeks max or 2 weeks since that trailer came out. But it stars Anne Hathaway. I don't know if she's the lead or not because Ewan McGregor is also in it. Those of you who don't know who Ewan McGregor is, if you know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is in the Star Wars movies and some of the shows, that's Ewan McGregor. But him, and her as in Anne Hathaway, looks like they're the leads in the movie. The movie is essentially about a small family in a suburban neighborhood, and it looks like it may be set in the 70s or 80s. I can't really tell based off the wardrobes, but somehow, some way, their whole neighborhood gets teleported back in time, like 65 million years ago type shit. Dinosaurs are running around, but the whole neighborhood is teleported into a completely, I don't know if it's another timeline or they literally just go back in time, but the whole neighborhood, for whatever reason, is teleported. Y'all should go check out this trailer because it's got everybody in the movie industry talking. Like, once again, I already knew that this movie was coming, so I kind of knew, somewhat what the movie may be about, but I had no clue how crazy it could be until I saw the trailer, and I was completely hooked. I cannot wait for this movie now, and I think you guys should go check it out too. But I put this on the list because a big part of marketing. Now, I may be wrong. This is just how I look at movies, so I may be wrong, but I'm just going to let you guys know how I think about things. 3 big pillars of marketing your movie is the trailers, for one. 2, the word of mouth, which doesn't really have anything to do with the studios, but it's a major part of marketing the movie. So you got trailers for 1, you got word of mouth for 2, and then for 3, you got reviewers. So a lot of us, me myself included, I don't really go by Rotten Tomatoes as far as if I want to see a movie or not, but I'm damn sure just going to go to see what the consensus is as far as what the reviewers are saying. So the 3 big pillars of marketing your movie, once again, is the word of mouth, which is us fans just literally saying, hey, have you heard of The End of O Street? Have you seen that trailer? It was crazy, blah, blah, blah. That's one. Two is the actual trailers. Once again, for End of O Street, it's a really good trailer. And then three, you got the reviews. Another way, and this is kind of off topic, but on topic, but another way to know if a movie is going to be a piece of shit or not is if they hold those reviews until like a day or two before the movie comes out. That's usually not a good sign. You, Me, and Tuscany did do that, so it's not concrete. You, Me, and Tuscany did hold their reviews until maybe like a day or a couple of hours before the movie came out. But sometimes they just hold back for other reasons. This movie did actually end up being good, so it's not concrete, like I said, but that's another way of knowing. And they hold the reviews because they understand that is a pillar of marketing. Some movies may even put out reviews for something 2 or 3 weeks in advance, like kind of like Project Hail Mary, because they know that that's going to get the word of mouth going, which is another pillar of movie marketing. So y'all kind of get where I'm going? Okay. So the End of O Street, I think is going to be another one of those as well. They're killing the marketing so far. Like they're keeping it just mysterious enough to keep us interested and maybe want to see that next trailer, or just going to say like myself, like, oh, I'm for sure going to spend my money on this when it comes out. And I think it comes out in August. But so far, they're killing the marketing on that movie. So I think you guys should go check out that trailer as well. So for my list of movies that I think are doing pretty good with the marketing so far, or really good, is The Devil Wears Prada 2, of course, Dune 3, of course, and then a little sleeper that I threw on there, which is The End of O Street. So that's my three for that. Now, my three for the movies that I think so far are shit in the fucking bed. Shit in the bed when it comes to marketing are these three. So the first one, this is a movie that I'm personally really interested in. I cannot wait to see it. I'm a big fan of the franchise. I've told you guys about it before, and that's Masters of the Universe. So I told you guys in my first episode that I told you about the movie that they put out a recent trailer that I didn't think was the best trailer, but it was the initial trailer. So I'm like, okay, so we at least know visually what this movie is going to look like. We should know what to expect in some way, shape, or form. So that was the first trailer. I already told you guys I was a little iffy on the first one. They dropped another one. I was fine with it, but once I got on the internet and read the comments and saw what people actually thought about it, looks like they put out 2 duds with the trailers. We on 2 strikes already. 3, you might be out of there. Like I said, the Masters of the Universe is already, I won't say it's a hard franchise to wrap your head around, but if you want a 4-quadrant movie, for y'all who don't know what a 4-quadrant movie is, a 4-quadrant movie is a movie that essentially can be marketed to 4 quadrants of film fans. For one, you got film fans under 25. You got film fans over the age of 25. You got the female audience and the male audience. That makes up 4 quadrants of a film. Masters of the Universe should be one of those. I was a kid watching Masters of the Universe. Obviously under 25. I'm 30 years old now. Obviously over 25. I'm a male. That's 3 quadrants already. And there's a lot of girls and a lot of women in the Masters of the Universe franchise as well. As far as women characters, that you should be able to get them in as well. And right now, it looks like you're only getting people that are over 25 and male just by this trailer. I think they are shitting the bed when it comes to marketing this movie. I'm not hearing any pop. I'm not hearing anybody interested in it. The only people that I know for a fact know this movie is coming out is me and my dad. And my dad grew up watching Masters of the Universe 2, which is why he put me onto it as a kid. We the only 2 people I know talking about this movie. So that tells you everything you need to know. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, but this movie comes out, and I think in 2 months, if they don't put out a banging trailer, I mean, like, this shit got to be top tier. If they don't get a good trailer coming out, I don't know. I don't know how good this movie is going to do. And I don't know what the budget is for this one, but just from looking at the 2 trailers, they spent some money on this movie. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to fix it, and they need to fix it fast because it looks like it's a sinking ship. So that's my first film on the list I think need to do better when it comes to the marketing. The second one is Disclosure Day. Once again, we're creeping up on a release date, and I'm not really hearing the pop. I'm not hearing anybody as far as film fans who didn't already know about the movie and say that they're interested, talking about it or trying to get other people interested. I'm not hearing other people saying, where's the next trailer? I'm not hearing people saying, what's the release date? And that's usually not a good sign. We do have 2 trailers for Disclosure Day. I'm interested in both the trailers. Like I keep saying, I'm a different breed of movie fan, so it doesn't take much to get me excited. I could just read the synopsis, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go check that out. And that's enough for me, because I love film. But the other people that only see maybe 4 or 5 movies in the theater a year, You got to do more selling to them to get them to come out and say, you know what, instead of just 5 this year, I'll do 6, and the 6th one will be Disclosure Day. And they're not doing that job. Like, a lot of people are only going to see Spider-Man this year, Avengers, uh, maybe Devil Wears Prada 2, and they already saw Project Hail Mary. And maybe Super Mario. And that's all. That's all you're going to get. A movie like Disclosure Day is already a hard sell. If you want to go back to the 4 quadrant movie thing that I told you about, who do you think is going to see this movie? It's going to be people over 25 and males. Like I said, like, how are you going to get women to come out to see a alien abduction movie? Like, you got to sell it to them. You got to make them want to see this movie. And I don't think so far Disclosure Day has done that. Like I keep saying, alien abduction shit is right up my alley. So I was going to be there regardless, just to be completely honest with you guys. But I just don't see it. I'm trying to think just off the top of my head, what could Disclosure do to maybe help with the marketing? I really don't know. Like, I still feel like we haven't, I don't even think we've even gotten a story trailer yet. It's still, the first trailer, well, the second trailer, I should say, is really just in addition to the first one. The second trailer didn't really expound on anything that the first one talked about. So we're still technically trying to figure out what the actual story of the movie is. And it's already, the movie itself is already based off of a subject that a lot of people aren't interested in or just straight up don't give a fuck about, which is aliens and alien abduction. And this isn't an alien invasion movie, because usually that's been bombastic and you got people getting killed and the aliens are shooting death rays and shit like that. It doesn't seem like we're getting that from this movie, so it's already going to be a tough sell. And I just, with the first 2 trailers, I just don't think people are catching on to it the way that they should and the way that I hope they would. This is another movie with the budget is pretty expensive. Y'all gonna need to figure it out to get people to come see this movie, because it's coming up soon and I'm not really hearing the excitement that I thought I would for it. So the second one on my list of movies that I feel like shit in the bed when it comes to marketing is Disclosure Day. Now my third and last one on the list is The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm a big The Mandalorian fan. I love the show. I love Grogu, of course. My personal opinion, I don't know why the fuck they made this movie. You could have kept it a TV show and everybody would have been cool with it. We all love the TV show if you love Star Wars. And even if you don't, I've heard a lot of people that don't even like Star Wars and love The Mandalorian, because it's just a good show from top to bottom. But that's all it should have been, is a good show. It's going to be a hard sell regardless to get people to say, okay, this is something that we got 3 or 4 seasons on Disney Plus that I can watch in the comfort of my home. Why would I go out and watch a movie which is just going to be a glorified, just from the trailer, I'm going to keep it honest with y'all. I don't lie to y'all on this podcast. I'm going to keep it real. The movie itself so far, just from the trailers that we got, it just looks like a glorified episode of the show. Will I see it? Yes. Do I love The Mandalorian? Yes. Do I love movies? Yes. You put them 2 together, of course I'll be there, but I'm not the typical movie fan. You don't have to really market to me as much as you have to do it to somebody who, like I said, only sees good 4 or 5 movies in the theater a year. What about this movie is selling people to make them come and say, you know what? I'll get my ass off the couch. Fuck The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. I'll go spend my money. I'll spend hard-earned money on gas, refreshments. This one is a 4-quadrant movie. You're going to get the kids, you're going to get the adults, you can get the men and women. It's Star Wars. Star Wars is usually a 4-quadrant movie, like I keep circling back to. But this one is a little different because you can see how many hours worth of it on Disney Plus? Not for free, but it's for what, $20 a month for Disney Plus? I can spend $20 and watch how many hours? I think it's maybe 10 episodes a season. I think it's 3 or 4 seasons. So 30 to 40 hours worth of entertainment on the same IP, the same movie franchise or TV franchise or streaming franchise, I guess I could say. Why would I want to go out and just spend $60 if you want to take the whole family, $70 maybe plus refreshments? Why would I want to do that? And I don't think the trailers for this movie is selling people as well. Like, to be honest, I watched the trailers, and even me being a Mandalorian and Star Wars fan, I was like, okay, I guess, yeah, I'll be there. It's Star Wars, I'll go see it. But I'm not completely sold myself, and I'm a major fan. So I know if they're not selling me, I know damn well they're not selling everybody else. So this is another movie I feel like they're just shitting the bed. I mean, and to be completely honest, it's been 7 years since we got a Star Wars movie in theaters. Fuck all that Disney Plus shit. We talking about something that's going to get us to put on some clothes, go to our local theaters, sit down for 3 hours with trailers, and actually have a good time. It's been 7 years, and the last movie that we got in the theaters as far as Star Wars, let's be honest, it was a piece of shit. It was. The Rise of Skywalker or The Return of Skywalker, whatever the fuck it was. That movie was really bad, okay? So you getting us out to come see the next Star Wars movie, and it's just The Mandalorian and Grogu, and y'all can't even give us a good trailer. Y'all can't even really get us hyped for it. I don't know. Once again, I think y'all need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe cook up another trailer, cause from what I'm seeing and just from what I'm hearing, Disney is scrambling to try to get people to come see this movie. That's why we've gotten so many trailers, and none of the trailers are really hitting the mark. It's very rare that you get 5-6 trailers for a movie, and none of them are teasers, like dead ass full cut trailers. How many trailers have y'all seen for The Mandalorian and Grogu? Has it gotten y'all excited? I don't think so. It hasn't even got me excited, and I'm a big fan. So I don't know what Disney are gonna do. I know CinemaCon is coming up this week. Once again, I'm gonna give y'all my coverage of that next week on the show. But CinemaCon is coming up. I'm hoping that they had some more details. I'm hoping they cook up another trailer. I'm hoping they do something. Because The Mandalorian and Grogu is, come on, this is going to be a big movie for Disney and Star Wars. Because like I said, we haven't got one in 7 fucking years. And the next one we're getting look like might shit the bed as well. So what do you think? That doesn't bode well for the next Star Wars movie. It doesn't. And I think we're getting one next year as well. So the performance of The Mandalorian and Grogu could definitely have a big impact on the next Star Wars movie, which comes out next year. I think it's a Star Wars Starfighter. I think it's what it's called, with Ryan Gosling or whatever. We'll talk about that at a later date as well, of course. But yeah, like, marketing is very important for movies. Just like I said earlier with You, Me, and Tuscany, like, it's just, okay, I'll give you guys an example. Have you ever told your parents, like, hey, mom, hey, dad, I love this Snicker bar. The Snicker bar is really good. And your parents are like, oh, okay. And then every time they go to the store, they bring you back a Snickers bar. That's exactly how it is with movies and movie marketing. If You, Me, and Tuscany does, let's say it makes $40 to $50 million, we will for sure 100% start getting more rom-coms. Same thing with The Mandalorian and Grogu. If The Mandalorian and Grogu actually does make money, and I don't just mean 300 or 400 million, which is what I think this movie is going to make, it's gonna be hard for me to even say over that. Like, I'm being generous by saying 300 to 400 million. Being very generous here. But if it makes, let's say, 6, 7, we are for sure gonna get more Star Wars movies. It's just like the Snicker bar analogy I just gave you guys. You said you like it, I'm gonna give you more of it. You, Me, and Tuscany. If you guys like it, I'll give you more of it. The Mandalorian, Grogu. If you guys like it, we'll give you more of it. But I don't think people are gonna like this movie, and that's my point. So I don't know. Those are my 3 movies that I think are shit in the bed and need to make some major adjustments really fast, because all 3 of these are coming out in the next 2 to 3 months. And I ain't seeing the hype like that online. That's just me. So my 3 that I think are killing marketing so far is The Devil Wears Prada 2, Dune 3, and The End of Oak Street. Once again, you guys need to go check out that trailer because I think you might be excited for it. And my 3 that I think are dying so far and just completely wet in the bed when it comes to marketing is The Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie, Disclosure Day, and Star Wars and Mandalorian and Grogu. Figure it the fuck out, and I mean quick, or y'all movies is gonna bomb. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. From the movies I said are doing good with the marketing, or doing bad with the marketing. Have you guys seen any of these trailers? Did they make you more excited? Did they make you less excited? Were these movies that you already wanted to see and don't even care about the marketing? You was gonna be there regardless. I just want to know what you guys think. So go down in the comments and let me know what you think, and then we'll go from there. But that does sum up today's episode. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and talking movies with me. Until next time, peace.